The biggest battle in history wasn't fought with guns or swords, but with metals, gold and silver. Two ancient rivals, each worshipped, each distrusted. And the quiet war between them shaped modern money in ways that still determine who gets rich, who stays poor, and how nations rise or collapse. And here's the twist. Their war didn't just leave scars in history books. It's still shaping the dollars, euros, and yen we use today, and even the crypto coins and digital currencies of tomorrow. This isn't just about coins or shiny bars locked in vaults. It's about power, trade, and trust. And the consequences of that hidden war ripple through inflation, credit cycles, and every financial crisis we live through. So how did two metals dictate centuries of economic history? And why do their echoes still haunt our financial system? Let's rewind. For most of human history, silver was the currency of everyday life. It was more abundant, easier to mint into coins, and accessible enough for farmers, merchants, and workers. Markets across Europe, India, and especially China ran on silver. By the 1500s, after Spain struck vast silver mines in the Americas, galleons carried the metal to Europe, and from there, much of it flowed straight into Asia. If you wanted Chinese silk or porcelain, you didn't pay with wool or wine, you paid in silver. That demand made the metal the grease of global trade. Silver's strength was trust. Everyone knew it, everyone used it. Gold, the metal of power. Gold, meanwhile, was something different. Too rare and too precious to circulate widely, it became the metal of elites, of kings, treasuries, and international merchants. A single gold coin could represent enormous wealth. That made it perfect for settling debts between empires or financing large-scale ventures. If silver was the money of the marketplace, gold was the money of sovereignty. This set the stage: silver for the people, gold for the powerful, a balance of sorts. But that balance wouldn't last. Bimetallism and Gresham's law. The first cracks came with bimetallism, governments trying to peg gold and silver together at fixed ratios. 1 ounce of gold might be legally said equal to 15 ounces of silver. On paper, that created stability, but markets don't obey governments. When silver flooded in from the Americas, its market value dropped. Suddenly, the official ratio no longer matched reality. People hoarded the undervalued metal and spent the overvalued one. This became known as Gresham's law: bad money drives out good. The result? Chaos. Confidence slipped, trade got distorted, and governments scrambled to reset ratios, only to see the imbalance return. Britain's decisive move. By the early 19th century, the world's financial superpower was Britain. And in 1816, Parliament made a fateful decision. The pound sterling would be anchored to gold alone. This was more than a policy tweak. It was a signal to the world. London was the center of global trade and finance. If Britain said gold was money, others followed. Silver wasn't dead, but it was demoted. Across the Atlantic, things looked different. In the United States, silver had deep roots. Farmers and frontier communities trusted it. They saw silver coins as real, democratic money. Gold, by contrast, felt like the banker's metal. The clash came to a head in the late 1800s with the free silver movement. Farmers drowning in debt wanted unlimited silver coinage to expand money supply and raise crop prices. Bankers and creditors resisted fiercely, arguing that only gold could preserve stability. This wasn't just economics, it was a cultural war. It was also an early example of how money supply, inflation, and credit can become political weapons, with farmers on one side and creditors on the other. William Jennings. Bryan's thunderous 1896 speech captured the rage: "You shall not crucify mankind upon a cross of gold." He became a hero for silver advocates, but he lost. And in 1900, the US formally adopted the gold standard. Silver had been sidelined again. Silver's last stand. China. Not everyone abandoned silver. In Asia, it remained dominant. The Mexican silver peso, trusted for centuries, circulated widely in Chinese trade. But when silver prices collapsed in the 1930s, China's economy was hammered. The country had tied itself to a sinking anchor, deepening instability just before war erupted in Asia. It was proof that the silver path, once reliable, had become dangerous. Meanwhile, the gold standard wasn't as solid as it looked. In theory, it promised discipline and stability, In practice, it tied governments' hands. During the Great Depression, countries that abandoned gold, like Britain in 1931, recovered faster. The U.S. clung to gold longer, but even Roosevelt eventually suspended convertibility in 1933 and seized private gold holdings. Gold still reigned, but its crown was slipping. After World War II, nations gathered at Bretton Woods to create a new monetary system. Gold was officially crowned king again, but this time with a twist. The US dollar was pegged to gold at $35 an ounce, and other currencies were pegged to the dollar. This made America the custodian of global finance. As long as Washington held enough gold, the system worked. But by the 1960s, the numbers no longer added up. Dollars circulated globally far faster than US gold reserves could back them. In 1971, Richard Nixon pulled the plug. The dollar was no longer convertible to gold. The gold standard was dead. Who won the war? Here's the twist. Neither gold nor silver won. Gold lost its formal role as the foundation of money. Silver lost its place as the people's daily currency. What replaced them was something new: paper money, backed by nothing but government, decree and public trust. Fiat currency, dollars, euros, yen, valuable not because they can be traded for metal, but because we all agree they are. The legacy today. But the war's echoes haven't faded. Investors still flee to gold during crises, treating it as the ultimate store of value. Silver still attracts believers who see it as the people's money, a hedge against elite-controlled systems, and central banks, the architects of fiat money, still hoard thousands of tons of gold, quietly, as if admitting the fight isn't really over. And look at today. Inflation debates, credit cycles, and even the rise of crypto and central bank digital currencies are just modern chapters in this old rivalry. Bitcoin is often called digital gold. Stablecoins behave like paper claims on silver or gold. The battlefield has shifted to screens and blockchains, but the fight over trust in money remains the same. So the next time you see gold prices spike or hear silver enthusiasts predicting its return, remember, these aren't just market moves. They're echoes of the longest war in financial history, a war with no final winner, only survivors. If you found this story useful, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment, gold or silver. Tell me which side you'd bet on today. I'll dive into the most requested one in a future breakdown, because the battle over money isn't ancient history, it's happening right now, in your savings, your investments, and even your digital wallet. And whether you realize it or not, you're part of it.